Section 1-1B homework practice. We have add and subtract rational numbers. If you've not done so already, please complete 1 through 12 on your own and hit pause, and then hit play when you're ready. Alright, so this is going to be the homework assignment that goes down as the pink homework assignment because the page looks pinkish. Anyway, number 1, -1/4 plus 3/4. Now we talked about that with addition or subtraction of fractions, or subtracting negatives, or negatives adding negatives, anything with addition or subtraction at all, you must have a common denominator. That is this number right here, and here must be the same. In this question, being that they are the same, you know the answer will be represented as something fourths. Now on top you see -1. That's what I see. And then you see adding 3. And basically this becomes a Chapter 0 concept, a Chapter 0 lesson about how do you add and subtract properly. Now this question says -1 plus 3. -1, +3. So I know my answer is going to be positive because I have 3 positives and only 1 negative. If I make a 0 pair, 1 for 1, that'll give me 2. 2 positives left over. Some people say, oh, different signs subtract, and that's correct too. The whole little, row your boat, different signs subtract. 3 minus 1 is 2. Take the sign of the higher number, which is going to be 3, which is positive. So that was a big lengthy explanation, probably for something that you thought was pretty easy. 2/4, of course, is not an acceptable answer. It must be reduced, and in simplest form, 2/4 is going to be 1/2. Number 2, we have -3/8 plus -1/8. First thing you want to check is, do we have a common denominator? And the answer is, yes we do. Once you've established that they have a common denominator, you can now proceed with the numerator and taking care of whatever this says, which it says to me that's -3. And I'm going to add a -1. See how I did that? So -3 plus -1. This would fall into the category of same sign, add and keep. So we're going to get -4 on top, all over 8. Simplest form is going to be -1/2. Also understand, -3 looks like this. -1 looks like this. Are there any positives at all here? Is there anything to cancel out? No. So you know that your answer is going to be -4, which is what we put up here, -4. Simplest form is -1/2. Number 3 is -8/11 plus 10/11. Once again, the check is 11ths, so we're good to go. Answer will be represented as something 11ths. Now we have -8, and we're adding 10. That's -8, add 10. Different signs, so go ahead and subtract. It gets you 2. Which is more powerful here, 10 positives or 8 negatives? And I hope you're saying the 10, which is positive, so you know the answer will be positive. So on top here, we're going to put a +2. Simplest form, you betcha. Next question, number 4, says -5/7 minus 4/7. Common denominator? Yep. sevenths. Now you have negative 5 minus 4. Negative 5 minus 4. That's negative 5 to me. Now, minus 4. Because really, minus 4 is negative 4. Subtraction is the same as adding a negative. So you can rewrite this as adding a negative 4 because this sign belongs to the 4. So it is a negative 4. You may not want to call it that. You could, though, call it negative 4 because just rewrite the question as plus negative 4. And also look over here at the little counters. 5 negatives, 4 negatives equals negative 9. So many people have difficulty comprehending what is happening here. And I have to emphasize to you that this 4 is not positive. It can't be. There's a minus front. There's a minus sign in front of it. How could it be positive? So this sign belongs to this number. So negative 9 sevenths. Now, of course, this is improper, which means that we need to make it into a mixed number. We have more than one whole. 7 goes into 9 one time, remainder 2. So 7 is 2 away from 9, all out of 7. And then you can bring the negative back. Sometimes that messes people up. Just bring the negative back. So negative 1 and 2 sevenths. Everything is in twelfths. Perfect. 11 minus 7. That's pretty straightforward. 11 subtract 7 is 4. It's not in simplest form. So let's divide by some number here and here. If we go big, we go with 4. Divide by 4 and divide by 4. Which is going to be 1 on top and 3 on bottom. And that's all. Not bad for number 5. And number 6 is okay too, because we have studied this type of question extensively. This whole business of subtracting a negative. We have studied this extensively. This is a plus. So it's really saying 2/15 plus 7/15. That's straight up addition. 2 plus 7. 9/15. Can we simplify? I think we can. Divide by 3. Divide by 3. Getting us 3/5. Perfect. We are cruising right through this assignment, although the toughest questions are coming up. Now we have mixed numbers here, and with mixed numbers you always have the option of going improper, adding, and then put it back to a mixed. However, if it's, to me, I'm not afraid to deal with mixed numbers. As long as the mixed numbers have the same sign, I feel like easy peasy, lemon squishy, or whatever, how that saying goes. So 4 and 1/5 plus 6 and 3/4. Let's go and add 6 and 4. Seems easy enough. Just 10. And then we're going to add 1/5 and 3/4. Of course, we need a common denominator here. So we're going to multiply by 4. We're going to multiply by 5, giving us 4/20 plus 15/20. Everything is in 20ths. This is 19/20. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Number 8. Okay, now this is where I'd say be careful. Number 8 says 1 and 7/10, adding -5 and 3/5. You see what I'm saying here? We have different signs, and you have to be careful. You don't want to just say 1 minus 5 is -4, because it might not actually be -4. It all depends on the fractional component here of 7/10 and 3/5. So my advice here, what is my advice here? Well, if you have different signs, such as positive and a negative, what I'm going to say to you is make them improper. Meaning, take 1 and 7/10 and change it to 17/10. How do I do that? 10 times 1 plus 7. That's how it's done. Add a negative. 5 times 5, 25 plus 3, 28. Excuse me, yeah, 28. So 5 times 5 is 25, plus 3 is 28. There we go. That is a negative. Let's go ahead and okay, now multiply by 2 to give me a common denominator of 10. Multiply by 2 up here as well. So we're going to have 17/10 plus a negative. It's going to be 56 tenths. Okay, now we have 17 tenths plus negative 56 tenths. Your answer is going to be in tenths, for sure. And negative 56 and a positive 17, different signs subtract, so 56 minus 17 is 39, which is going to be a negative 39 because you have so many more negatives here. Negative 56, so negative 39. Now, 10 goes into negative 39 3 times, making 30. 9 left over out of 10. And it's going to be a negative. So you see here how it's not going to be for anything, as we originally thought. It's going to be for something. It's not. It's actually negative 3 and 9/10. And that is the correct answer, folks. So be careful when you get different signs. Don't just do 1 minus 5. I know that's the temptation there. 1 minus 5 is -4, and you can clearly see this is not a -4. Let's move on to number 9, which says 7 3/5 minus the negative 5 1/3. We are too skilled for this, aren't we? We know it's the auto plus. We know to bring everything else down, and now we know that we need a common denominator. We're going to use 15. So it's times 3 times 3 times 5 times 5. That's 7, and that's still 5. Now we're adding. No problem with addition with mixed numbers. It's always fun, always easy. 12. That's 5 and 7 is 12. 9/15 and 5/15 is 14/15. Number 10 says negative 3 2/3 minus 4 5/9. Now, here's a scenario where it is subtraction, but we have to begin with a negative already, so it's really same sign, add, and keep. So we won't have any problems with this because we have the same sign. It just so happens we have two negatives. Once again, we've established this is a negative. Subtraction is adding a negative. So you can always rewrite it if that bothers you, or if you don't get it. Just rewrite it. Adding a negative. This belongs to this. So no issues here. Just add and keep. It's going to be a negative answer. A larger negative, which of course is a smaller value. And let's begin with a common denominator of 9. So times by 3. on top and bottom. So it's going to be negative 3 and 6/9 minus 4 and 5/9. Add and keep. Add 7 and add 6 and 5 to get 11/9. Uh-oh. This is improper. So what do you do with it? Well, you make it into a whole number, so it's going to be 1 whole. 9 goes into 11 one time. 2 away from 11 out of 9. Going to combine that with the 7. So you're going to combine that, make that an 8. It's still going to be negative, just combining to it. So it's really like putting more onto the negative, and 2/9. And that is the correct answer. Same sort of deal with number 11. This is a same sign, add and keep. So don't worry about the signs. You know your answer is going to be negative. You're adding and keeping the negative. Let's first begin with the common denominator of 10 times 2 times 2. It's going to be negative 4 and 6/10 minus 5 and 9/10. Very similar to the previous question. Negative 9 and then 15/10. So we have to add on a negative here, negative 10, because this is 1 and 5/10. So we just take that 1, put it on with that, make it a negative 10. And then we have 5/10 left over. 5/10, of course, is 1/2. So the answer is negative 10.5. 12 is a doozy. 12 is one of those mixed, it's a mixed number, and it's got a positive and a negative. So this is the tough one. This is where, we find out that, why did you get one wrong on that quiz? Oh, number 12. So let's see if we can get this one right so we get a perfect score on our next quiz and test. Number 12. Negative 18 and 5/12 plus 14 and 3/4. Different signs. So, different signs, I am advising you to just make it improper. It's an ugly deal here, but make it improper. You'll thank me later when you get the question right. So, there's nothing wrong saving this question for the end either. So, if you're taking a quiz, save this guy. We got 18 times 12 is going to be 216. Add 5 is going to be 221 all over 12. Add now. We're going to do 14 times 4 is going to be 56. Plus 3 is 59 all over 4. Common denominator is going to be 12, right? Times 3 times 3. So you don't need to do anything with this. Just leave it alone. It's already good to go. 59 times 3 is 177 over 12. Adding 221 over 12. And everything is in 12ths. And 177 plus 221 is 398. Now 12... Clearly this is improper, because the numerator is much, much bigger than the denominator. So we have more than one whole. Much more than one whole. 12 goes into 398. How many times? Okay, pick a number. What do you think? 10? 20? 30? Pick a number. You can also think of it as, ignore the 8 for a moment. Just temporarily ignore the 8. How many times does 12 go into 39? And then add a 0 to that. So 12 goes into 39 3 times. So you can try 30 and see where that takes you. 12 times 30 is 360. So you're close. You're in the ballpark. Let's go up. How about 34? So 12 times 34. It's going to be 408, which is a little too high. So how about 32? 12 times 32. 32 is 384. How about 33? 33 is going to be 396. Now, as I'm looking at this question, I got to go back for a moment because here I am adding should I have been adding, folks? We got to go back. There's a mistake that has been made. This seemed kind of ridiculous, because it is. I forgot my negative right here. So even the teacher can make a mistake here if you don't keep bringing your signs down with you. This is a negative. So that changes things. This is a different sign now. So different sign, subtract. Okay, take the sign of the higher number, so the answer will be negative for sure. Subtract, so here we go. Take 1 from there, making this 11. Subtract is 4. You can't do 1 minus 7, you can take 1 from here, make this a 10. 3 and 34 should be the answer, but don't forget it's going to be negative 34. Oops, I'm on fire right now. 44, excuse me. 44. Because that was a 1, this became an 11, not a 10. Excuse me. 0 for 2. One more strike and I'm out. 44. Okay. But I'm checking my work through the whole process, so I try and catch my mistakes. Even so that I'm, sort of tired here and doing this question, I'm thinking, going back, looking as I'm going forward. This constant checking happening here, because it is a lot of work to do. And very frustrating if you get the wrong answer or get a weird looking answer. Okay, so it's a negative 44/12. Here we go now, grand finale. 12 goes into 44 3 times, making 36. 36 is 6 away from 44. No, it's 8 away from 44. I'm out of here. 8 away, all out of 12. We can simplify. So what number goes into 8 and 12? Divide by 4 gets you 2. Divide by 4 gives you 3. So the final answer, don't forget the negative, is negative 3 2/3. And I promise you that is correct. Beast question. It couldn't hurt to go, do this homework and then come back at a later date prior to the test and do it again. This is how you get good at this. It's the only way to get better. Just keep on practicing. You can do it. Number 13 says population. About 1/5 of the world's population lives in China, and about 1/6 of the world's population lives in India. What fraction of the world's population lives in other countries? So you've basically got China, you've got India. Combined, how much of the population do they represent? Common denominator is going to be 30. Which is going to get us 6/30 plus 5/30. So India and China represent 11/30. Now what are they looking for here? They're saying, what fraction of the world's population lives in the other countries? The other being the rest of the 30ths. Well, we know 11/30 make up, this is China and India. So the rest of us is going to be 19/30. How did I get that? Well, I know that the whole thing is going to be 30/30. So the whole enchilada is 30/30. 11/30 plus 19/30 makes 30/30. So the missing part, the rest of the world, is going to be 19/30. Number 14 and 15 are algebra questions. We have evaluated each expression for the given values. We have variables here, and we have numbers that stand for those variables given to us. So number 14 we have r plus s, where r is 8 4/5 and s is negative 3 2/5. Now notice how I separated the negative and the positive. We really don't want positives and negatives right on top of each other, so we'll put in that parentheses just to show a little bit of separation. It doesn't mean multiply here because you have that plus sign. We're just sort of separating the plus and the negative, which really could be used. This could be used as a minus sign, can't it? Adding a negative is the same as subtraction. So anyway, different signs, and we notice that they're mixed numbers. So this is a positive, this is a negative, different signs. Let's go and make them improper, take care of it the better way here, which is going to be 40 plus 4 is 44 for 5. Adding a negative, 15 plus 2 is 17. fifths. Now, nice thing about this is we have a common denominator of 5 already, so we appreciate that. So everything is in fifths is the final answer. And 44, add a negative 17, so 44 minus 17 is 27. It's going to be positive because we have 44 positives and only 17 negatives. 5 goes into 27 5 times, making 25, which is 2 away from 27, out of 5. And that is your answer. Number 15, we have j minus k, where j is negative 5/9 minus, and k is 4 and 5/6. Now this is the same sign, so you can add and keep. No problem here, same sign. Just add them up and know that your answer will be negative. We need a common denominator here, so let's go ahead and do 18 times 3 times 3 times 2 times 2. It's 10 18ths. And this is going to be 15 18ths. It's going to get us, we have negative 4 still, and we're going to have 10 and 15 make 25 18ths, which is a whole number, so we have to add to the negative 4, getting to a larger negative, a negative 5. So that one whole is accounted for, 1 and 7/18. So the one I already used up, I gave to the 4 to make a 5, and 7/18. And that is actually the answer. Two more questions, perimeter questions I believe. It says find the missing measure for each figure. And they're telling us the perimeter, which is the length of all the sides added up. So they're saying this plus this plus this equals 12 and 23/24. Now knowing that, to find the missing side, all I have to do is add these two sides up and then subtract it from this right here. So let's go ahead and add 3 1/3 and 5 1/4. Mixed numbers, no problem, because they're addition of the same of positive. So it's going to be 8, and this is going to be now times 4 times 4 times 3 times 3. It's going to be 8 and 4/12 plus 3/12 is 7/12. So we have 8 and 7/12. We're going to subtract that from 12 and 23/24. We need a common denominator again, so we'll do times 2 to make 24. And that's going to be 12 and 23/24 minus 8 and 14/24. It's going to get us 4. Ooh, careful, careful, careful. Okay, so this should be okay, even for the different signs. 12 minus 8 is going to be 4. And then 23/24 minus 14/24 should get us 9/24. Divide by 3. So 4 and 3/8 looks correct. And it is. Okay, last question, same kind of deal, except now we have 4 sides. We're looking at a trapezoid here, number 17. We are going to begin by adding all the sides that we have available, which is this side, and this side, those 3 sides. Add them up, subtract from 59 1/4 to get us the missing side, which is x. So 10 1/2, 14 5/8, and 17 3/4. We need a common denominator. Are you seeing 8 as a common denominator here? So leave 8 alone here. Multiply by 2 times 2. Multiply by 4, 4 and 4. Yikes. Okay, so it's going to be 10 and 4/8 plus 14 and 14 and 5/8 plus 17 and 6/8. Everything is in eighths. We can add the eighths and the integers. So we have 10, 14, and 17, and that'll get us 41. We can add the 4/8, 5, and 6, which gets us 4, 5 is 9. So 9 plus 6 is 15. 8, that's improper. We need to fix that to be 1 and 7/8. 8 goes in 15 one time. Remainder 7 out of 8. So we need to adjust 41 to be now 42. And we can get rid of the 1 now. Push the 7/8 up, and there we go. Now let's go ahead and subtract the perimeter, the whole thing. Subtract the 3 sides. Common denominator again, so times by 2 times by 2. 59 and 2/8 minus 42 and 7/8. This is going to be a problem. Whenever, what I recognize is that this fraction here is smaller in value than this fraction here. So it's not going to be 17 something. It just won't work out that way. What we can do, and there's a couple ways you can address this. I said, you can make it improper. Now, I know some teachers say, why go through making it improper? It's going to take you a long time, and you're going to get such huge numbers. Some teachers say this, and if you can follow me on this, super, because this is kind of difficult to grasp. What some teachers say is, let's take 59 and break it up. Okay, in other words, let's take 59 and call it 58 plus 1. Now when I say plus 1, I'm going to change that 1 into an equivalent with the denominator of 8. So this one I'm going to call 8 out of 8. So I can still have a denominator of 8. Let's fix that up a little bit. I'm going to call it 1, 8 out of 8, because I want my denominator to have that 8. I need 8s. So, scratch off the 1. 58 plus 1. I still have 59. Now, take the 8/8 here and combine it with the 2/8 here, giving you 10/8. So what you really have here is, 59 and 2/8, which is the same thing as saying 58 and 10/8. That's the same thing as saying that's 59 and 2/8 is 58 and 10/8. Now, because this is larger in value than this, the subtraction should not be an issue. If this is too confusing for you, your backup plan is to just make everything improper and do it that way. Because some people, I'll tell you what, improper, you can't go wrong. Make it improper and then subtract, which is what we've been doing this entire lesson with the difficult ones. Okay, so let me clean this spot up now. Now we have 58 minus 42 is 16. 58 minus 42 is 16. Now 10 minus 7, still going to be subtraction, is 3/8. And that's the correct answer. So yet another way. The good thing about the video here is you can go back and rewind this and watch it as many times as you need to. Unlike being in class where you hear it 1 or 2 times and hopefully it sticks, and if it doesn't, you're stuck. So watch the video a bunch of times. This is important. This is tough. I wish you the best of luck and happy studying.